Welcome to World of Marketing Podcast, a Foster Web Marketing production. Here's your host, Tom Foster.
Okay, this is round two. Here we go again. Here we are, Tom Foster in the World of Marketing, here with my buddy, Matt Tate. How you doing, Matthew?
I'm living the dream right now, Tom. Living the dream.
You are living the dream.
I really am. I got my house, got my dog.
Look right down the street from me, actually.
Down the
Neighbors.
street, got a big old yard.
Got a big old, actually just saw you yesterday morning when I walked Maisie by and we passed by. You were out inspecting your yard.
Yeah.
Told me about your recent battle with the hornet's nest and
Hornet's nest, fighting Bermuda grass, trying to take over my nice tall fescue. It's the struggle is real. If that's the worst problem I got, I'm having a pretty good day.
That's right. Well, very good. Well, Matt and I spend many hours every day together, working with clients, and many of you that are probably listening to this. And I thought, hey, let's go over the DSS SEO tool on the podcast. I don't think we've done that yet, and because we show clients all the time, but there's probably a lot of clients. And also others out there that don't know that DSS has a very powerful and robust back-end SEO tool to help you with your SEO. So for your do-it-yourselfers out there, this is the SEO tool that our team uses. And we can show you how to use it too. So Matt, you ready? You ready to show your screen?
I'm ready.
Okay. And Matt's having some like weird audio technical problems. So if you have it, just like raise your hand or something. We'll try to get through it if it continues. So we're going to show off some. All right. So basically this connects several different databases, Google Analytics, SEO Majestic, some other ones all together to tell you your ranking, both locally, nationally, globally, for both mobile, desktop, everything. Also, your backlink profile, if you have good links, bad links, where they're linking to, if you have toxic links. It also tells you information about your competitors. It also gives you keyword research, so you can do keyword research in here. It also tells you how to optimize your pages for certain keyword strings. So you can load your pages in here and it will tell you how well that scores to be optimized for certain keywords. So where do you want to start with that? Just kind of anything else you should add to that, Matt?
No, that's good explanation. The way I describe it is that it is it's an SEO tracking and diagnostic tool. It'll track different information about your website. It'll track competitors' information. It will diagnose a problem. If it can give you suggestions, it'll actually tell you how to do SEO and how to improve it. So, and I want everyone to know, it doesn't do anything magical. This tool helps you apply marketing and SEO in DSS and off-site. So this is a tool to use in conjunction with DSS and
right.
Working.
It's an analysis tool. It tells you stuff to do. It doesn't do any action itself.
Exactly.
It tells you stuff to do, and the stuff. And yeah, as Matt said, you carry out the action of what this tool suggests. We'll talk a little bit about that because you don't always want to do everything it says.
No.
And you carry out the action in DSS, or on social media, or in your local listing stuff, in various places. Also, the other thing that's cool right here while you're showing it is this note section on the top, which is pretty cool because this has how you track the changes that you've made. So you know whether your efforts worked or didn't work. And, or, like if you have multiple people working on it or whatever, just so you know and can keep track of your efforts.
Yeah, this is the dashboard for the tool. It's kind of a visual representation of a lot of different information, data points that you can find throughout the site. And we've got this sidebar here that takes you to all those places. Something to follow up on. Tom was just talking about how you can track. So as you do things, you can add it to this. It'll also keep you updated on the latest Google updates. So as we get updates, you'll see in here that it will go ahead and let you know that a change of some kind has been noticed. It doesn't do it all right away. As we know, Google recently made a change and then pulled it back after messing up everybody's internet traffic. So that isn't in here. So everything doesn't show up right away, but it will show up once it's been more confirmed by more than just internet rumors popping up. Okay. So this is just kind of your dashboard that shows everything. I'd rather get directly into the tools.
Well, hold on a second. Let's just show off like real quick because I think it's juicy. All right. So, right. Overall site optimization right there. That's overall optimization. That is a metric that goes up and down by the day. So, you know, pay attention to that thing. And your also how many pages are indexed in Google. You want to pay attention to that right there. And it shows increases. Obviously, that's inventory that you have in Google's index, which is the name of the game organically. And so the more that you can add, the better off you're going to be. For those of you that want to get ranked, that's the name of the game. You're either going to pay for it through pay-per-click, which you have to add content anyway for that, or you're going to, or you want to be adding content. More pages in Google, the better you are. And backlinks to that content. So that's the backlinks metric right there. That is how you increase your domain and trust flow. And so that is also a critical Google algorithm, is basically what other websites say about you, and basically it's what other websites say about them. So it's pretty much kind of like a popularity contest in a sense, and relevancy. So the better the links coming to you from other websites, the better off you're going to be. And so that, you know, and the better links go to better content. So that's all the more reason to write really good content. If you see any kind of drops in your content, in your index, you might have a problem. You might have gotten hit with one of the Panda updates that goes after content, which is what hit a lot of people in May, I think is when it came out in May, where a lot of people dropped. They didn't. These guys didn't. Because they have thick content, but a lot of thin content websites dropped, you know, sub 500 words. Mobile optimization is always going up and down, especially right now as Google actually is tweaking with that score. So that's something that we're actually working on and chasing after right now. And then, of course, the speed score is more and more important. Speed score is the next big thing that Google's looking at. How fast your web pages load. They're going to be paying way more attention to user and how the users are working with the websites. And then, of course, your social media activity there. But you're right, Matt, this is the meat, which is how you actually improve all of that. Is as you're adding content, is this site optimization. And this is where Matt and I like to get really started right away. Generally the way that Matt and I coach clients is after we make sure that, and our services team, we make sure that the easy wins, I guess is the best way. Make sure the local profiles are all squared away. Make sure all that stuff is all taken care of, because that's like crossing off check boxes. So you want to make sure that you got your Yext, all squared away, your name, address, and phone number all squared away, all your local syncs, everything done. Your Google My Business profile, all of that stuff filled out, and then tackle content. And you want to practice areas first, right, Matt?
Yeah, but you want to start with those high level pages. Think of this as kind of the pillar of your website, and think about how, when I always describe to people, think about the informational architecture of your site like an NCAA bracket turned on its side. You've got homepage, practice areas, and then all the different FAQs and blogs and videos and offers and everything that trickles out from there. And that's how Google's going to crawl the site. That's how people are going to go through it. So if those initial top level pillar pages aren't as strong as possible, what chance does everything else have to really rank well? So,
and those other smaller pages that he's talking about, the blog posts, because like these pages that he's talking about, like these examples that are scoring very well, the criminal defense, we're going to show you the details of that in a minute. These are the ones that we want to come up for the, what we call the vanity keywords, the main keywords. But then, of course, there's all of the long tail keywords. That's what the aim is for the blog post, success stories, library articles, FAQs. And they do come up. There's actually this client's, their top pages are all blog articles that are getting like a majority of the traffic, a lot of them having to do with COVID. Because they're answering the public's questions, which is a great point. And they're actually then linking back up to these practice areas to help bolster these practice areas, which is a great SEO technique. All right, Matt, let's click on some of these and show the folks kind of like how that works.
So let's go into the optimization. And this is the diagnostic part where it will literally tell you what to do and how to rank for these different keywords. So we'll just look at a good one here, criminal defense. And here's where it gets the optimization score, is whenever you add a page, especially these top level pages, you have to decide what keyword you want to go after on this particular page. So for this, criminal defense attorney looks like the main page. It's in the title tag. So we want to do that, but you can add secondary keywords that are relevant to the top, but essentially you pick one keyword per top level page, and that's what the score is based on. So if you wanted to rank for the word "the," you can trick this into you rank, you have good SEO for this one word just because you say it in the right places. So you can manipulate it, but you want to start with the one keyword you want to rank for, or the phrase, and then optimize the page for that particular keyword.
I mean, this is basic SEO, folks.
Yeah, I mean, this is checking the box. SEO. People overthink this. People think they have some. SEO is just optimizing. It is just making I think Trent said it best. Content is 80% of this. 80% of SEO is content. 20% is manipulating it and title tags and the stuff we're going to go over. So if you don't got good content, or you have thin content, you can only massage and optimize that so much.
So the other point that I want to make before you click on, well, that's fine, you can click on it, is that this is being optimized. You should, they've got 5 keywords here that you don't want to have more than that. And so really it's no more than 5 keywords per page. And it's only because these are very similar keywords. You want to have almost, your strategy should be like 1 page per keyword string. And so this is obviously a super competitive keyword. I mean, this is Fort Lauderdale criminal defense. That's hugely competitive. This is just telling you how to create a competitive piece of organic content. This does not guarantee page 1 for this at all. There's many other things that go into that. But this tells you how to optimize the piece of content for that particular keyword string. How you make this after that go to page 1 is backlinks and authority and conversion. So that's the other part of it too that Matt was just kind of talking about too, is we're going to show you SEO, which is optimizing the page for the search engines, which has not a whole lot to do with converting people that are reading that page into a lead. So those are two kind of different things. Although Google connects them more and more these days.
Yeah.
But this particular exercise is just showing you how to massage particular pages to optimize for keyword search.
Yep. And
Right.
something else that this helps with having these high level pages for these short keyword, kind of almost vanity search is it, in my experience, I have seen it help with local SEO too. So say you're you optimize just for criminal defense, but somebody searches for the domestic violence attorney, property theft attorney, car accident, having top level pages that are highly optimized for those short-term keywords will help you be relevant for more of the short keywords, even in local. Like if all you're optimized is for personal injury, it's going to be hard to show up for motorcycle accident. Not that you won't, but having motorcycle accident, high level, highly optimized pages are going to help with that local profile. Well, because Google can see what information is on the website, what this is relevant for. So doing this helps more than just this one page rank for just this keyword. And that's why these high level pages are so important to have as optimized best possible. And like Tom said, even for conversion, if someone comes to your site, they come to one of these pages, kind of secondary, you want to have as much information as well presented as possible.
Matt's 100% right. That's a great point you brought up about the local, is that, and because your service areas, your main practice areas that we're looking at right here should be in your local profile, and they should match up anyway. And so Google is looking to confirm, are they in fact what they say, are doing in fact what they say? And so he's right. So, all right. So this tells us some things. It will tell us critical things to fix, which there are none. It says no critical issues. If there were, like keywords in the page title, keywords in the headline, keywords in the title, in a certain amount in the content, but that's all been done. So this has all been optimized, and this basically tells you all of those things. It also tells you things that you could consider doing, but may or may not make a difference or not. So this is stuff, okay, we've noted, right, improve the mobile page speed. We actually know this. This is being worked on right now. And this is what the tool lets us know. Okay, we need to look at this. We need to make some changes here.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just the basic elements of good on-page optimization, whereas the technical side, like you'll see up here, and we'll get to that, kind of two different types of SEO. There's technical SEO, page speed, broken links, broken images, the way a file gets called, it's technical stuff, the actual way the website is built. Then there's on-page SEO. So once you have the content, how do you optimize it for Google search? And that's all. I mean, this has been pretty basic.
Well, that's
for a
down
long
here
time.
on past rules. That shows all of the different things that you do, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what this is. I mean, it's looking at the URL. So kind of good way to look at it is, is the keyword that you're going after in the URL. I mean, these are, seem like pretty straightforward, and we can see criminal defense lawyer is in the URL. It looks at your title tag, which is in DSS. It says title in it. Do you have one of your keywords in there? Now, me personally, if I'm getting nitpicky, whatever's in the URL, title tag, and H1, I like it to be pretty similar. Doesn't have to be. You don't have to force it. If you've got a great headline, don't shove keywords in there that are pointless, but URL, title tag, H1, I try to be as consistent as possible. Now, you may, your title tag may be criminal defense lawyer, but your headline might be, experienced, compassionate criminal defense lawyer in Fort Lauderdale. So you want to mix that keyword in there. You don't have to be super robotic. Like here, Fort Lauderdale criminal defense lawyers protect you and defend your
That's
rights.
not bad.
Yeah, so that's got a little copy to it. That's really what I would prefer, but he's got at least some consistency within that.
Yeah.
So it's just basic on page. Now, the one thing, SEO people can argue
okay. So what you were just saying is an interesting point, because that has to do more with combining SEO and conversion.
Yeah.
Because if we just cared about SEO, then that headline would just say Fort Lauderdale criminal
defense lawyer. Yeah, it would just
period.
Be plain and flat.
And by the way, lots of websites still do that, and that's the old way. But if we want that to convert, we have to add a little pizzazz to it. We have to add a little bit of welcome to it, and not just be like blatantly SEO. And same with the content. As a matter of fact, that's a big part of it too, is that you see down here on the past rules, there's other things, is the title tag, is the description tag, that's the meta description. That's what you see in the background. That's what usually shows up in that Google description when you do a search. Is the H1, is it in that H1 header tag but not overstuffed? Is it in the body tag? In other words, in the content but not too many times? And so Google does look at how many times is the keyword in the body tag. Too many, too few. How is it in there? There's a lot of things that go into it for just the base optimization. And so anyway, this tool just kind of takes care of that easy stuff for you. You just run it through. It's, you just feed your page in here, what keywords you want it to tell you, what the score is, and spits it out. And then you just kind of do what it tells you to do. You go into DSS and you go fix it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Tom's right. You have this open and you have DSS at the same time, and you just toggle in between the two. You go in, change the title tag, and when you come back, you can just hit this, scan this landing page right here, and it'll scan it and it'll update your score for you. So some people can really get into it. They see that orange number and a 75. It's like, I need to get this all the way to the top. Now, one thing I'll say about these top level pages, homepage is slightly different. You can't really try to optimize a homepage for everything. So something like, your URL, yes, DUI lawyer, because, it's a part of his actual domain name. He's got DUI lawyer in there, but most people's domains are going to be, the homepage is, it's your business name. It's, personal injury lawyer Fairfax or something. So you're not always going to be able to have a highly optimized URL if it's just the domain name. So not every rule in here has to be followed to the T. There are certain times when you don't have to break the bank to fit some rule that some computer told you have to follow.
Let me just follow up on that a little bit, because that's a great point that you brought up. If he's right, if your business name matches your domain name, your legal business name, like criminal defense DUI lawyer, like Justin Stivers, the probate lawyer.
Oh, great.
and that is your domain, then you have a advantage. But I'm not saying go out and throw away your brand, because your brand is a great advantage as well. That's just really ranking. You can still rank and compete by having these as practice areas, even if your domain is your brand name. Okay. Still easily. His point with the homepage is not to try to make the homepage rank for everything. The homepage, in most cases, is your brand, which is the firm. Or if you're solo, it's you. And you is usually your bio page. And so when you are, and that's another, just a great point, just, if you're doing any kind of like Google ads or pay-per-click or any of that stuff, or, Facebook ads, don't send them always to your homepage. Send them to internal pages, like your practice area pages, that are more specific to what you're talking about.
A huge issue we see with people with
overdoing it, right?
Again, they try to make homepage for everything, or if you are doing pay-per-click, they just send it to the homepage, which has lots of different effects on conversion.
Yeah, it's been a problem
there's so many
since the beginning of web.
Yeah,
is just everybody focusing on the homepage. Like there's no other pages. And the thing is that you get great benefit from utilizing your other pages. That's exactly the reason why DSS is structured the way it is and why it outperforms WordPress. Oh, I just read this morning that WordPress got hacked.
No.
Like,
I mean, the giant open source
70,000 WordPress users, something like that.
Who'd have seen that in an open source environment?
That use File Manager. That's what it is. It's the File Manager plugin. So it's not even a WordPress. It's the plugins that get you. The plugins that get you. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So that's pretty much kind of, you feed your page in there. You want to just show them really quick how to.
Yeah, so you can just click add a page, and then you copy and paste the URL in here. Name it whatever you want. Say this is car accidents. And then you can simply pick the keywords that you want that page to rank for. Now, let me jump back a little bit and talk about the keyword part of this. So the keyword tool you have, so you can type in something manually. But if you do some keyword research, you can build what's called your keyword basket. So this is just a basket of all these different keywords you've researched that you want to eventually track or just have in the basket. So you can come in here and just click on a keyword and add it from this basket that you've already created for, by doing some keyword research. So URL, rename it, add the keywords, and realize whatever keywords you add, that's where your score is going to come from. It's going to grade you on all of these different SEO elements, from the URL to the internal linking, based on the keyword you choose on that page. So you can manipulate it to give yourself a 100 if you're going after one word, but that's not the point of this. The point of this is to actually rank and be optimized for the types of words you want to be found for, at least associated within Google Organic.
And by the way, let me just say that, we're glossing over this. We are happy to give more in-depth training on how this tool is used and how you can use this tool. It's actually done over a couple of periods because it's so big and robust. But those of you that want to learn how to use this tool more, all you need to do is shoot us an email to Tom Foster at fosterwebmarketing.com. and Matt and I will schedule a time to work that out with you. All right, what else do we want to show here?
All right, so quick one. Now, this is the sexy sizzle. This is what people really like and enjoy in this. And this is your kind of rank tracking. We'll kind of briefly go over this, but you do all this work. You want to track, how you're ranking. And it comes in a couple different varieties. You can search for global. You can track how many times it's searched for state as a whole, county. If you've got multiple locations, you can track what you're ranking for across those different cities. So you can actually dial in based on city, state, county, country, you name it. It'll actually tell you how many searches it does and where you rank for that. So as an example, this aggravated assault attorney is globally searched around 90 times. Less than 10 in his area. Now, if it only shows 10, doesn't mean nobody searches for it. It's that there's not enough volume of that particular exact keyword phrase. But then it shows you how he's showing up. So we can see he is showing up organically. So his practice area, aggravated assault page, is showing up at number 4. He's gone up twice. And then his office page is showing up in Google Maps. Now he's at 7th. So it's not at the top, but you can actually click into it and it will show you how it actually displays within search. So you can see the different ads. Here's the Google local. So we've got a couple of competitors. So you can put competitor tracking in here. You can see where they are at above you. And then we can see the organic rankings where he was showing up. And that's, in a perfect world, he's showing up in the top 3 for Google Maps, and then somewhere in the top 5 for organic. Depending on the search term, it's going to be a little harder to show up in organic. We can see here legal match, lawinfo.com. A lot of organic short keyword phrases are really dominated by the big directories and stuff like that. So the fact that he's up here is good. And so you're tracking in much greater detail than, I just ranked for this keyword. It's actually showing details about what pages, what keywords, where. It'll actually track the pages themselves. So we can see homepage, where he ranks for all these different keywords on the homepage, different blogs. Like we've got this blog about wrongful death. We can see where he ranks. So you can, individual pages you have, you can see how that shows up in results. So it's one of the better keyword tracking and kind of website tracking tools that I've seen out there. And here's the thing with this is this tool does not do something that nobody else does. Okay, there are lots of tools. This tool has been simplified and made for people doing DIY work. If you're like professional SEO, there may be some $500 a month, super expensive enterprise level SEMrush, but this tool is designed for the basics of, if I'm doing work on a site, what can I affect? What can I track? Like that's what this is for. So if you're like a super SEO nerd and you want to dig down on like 3 different levels, go buy the enterprise level tool. This
go get
tool
Neil
is
Patel's
focused.
tool.
Yeah, like you go get SEM, like get something. This is focused on.
Right.
We've taken the parts of the tools that we use the most consistent and put it into one tool. So that's
this is
kind
what
of
our guys use.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we use. Like I said, I've used every.
You don't need
tool,
much more than this.
Every tool
You
out
don't
there,
really.
I have used them all. This is the most focused one that I have seen that really drives in the organic. So last thing on this, I'll jump to the next, is you can also track different competitors and where they rank versus you, because you may have someone that you're like, oh, that's my competitor. Are they your competitor online or just in your mind? Because
just in your mind, yeah.
Yeah, if it's just in your mind, it's, like here, I'd be like, obviously there are other people organically that rank that probably you might want to change and track a different person. So this is tracking your organic online competitors, not the competitors in your mind, not that attorney that you hate, that you think gets all the cases, that you're a better lawyer than. This is just focused on your online rankings and digital competitors. So that's a big difference.
And then well, we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
But the other areas like the site health, that shows if you've got toxic backlinks, if you've got.
So the site health is more the SEO, like technical SEO. So if like you have broken links,
Right,
or things like that, it'll track broken images, broken links. It's more the technical side. The internal linking, that's the linking back in between pages. Huge SEO. You guys are leaving so much SEO on the floor out there. It's ridiculous. Barely anybody does a good job doing good internal
linking. This is just
it's
linking
free. It's free
between your own
SEO
pages.
It's your own pages that almost nobody is taking advantage of. Like, okay, you set up the site with good internal linking, but every time you add new content, you're losing chances to link to other pages with that. So it helps track that. It'll look at every page, the keywords, everything. Like, this is something
contextual linking.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you really need to work with one of us to go through it, because you can mess yourself up if you do it too much over too many exact keywords. So it's kind of a fine point. But the last big thing with this tool is the backlink tracking. There's very few tools that do a good job of both SEO, diagnostic, and tracking your backlinks. This is pulled in from SEO Majestic, which I believe is the best tool out there. It also pulls in some data from Moz. But I really like this backlink tool. And you can see, once again, a huge tool, lots of different information that you can pull from this. But you want to look at how many linking domains, total number of backlinks that you're getting. A big thing a lot of people don't think about. Okay, like here, we look at the number of backlinks. We've got do follow versus no follow. Most people don't understand there's a different type of link. Some transfer SEO juice, some don't. Some just send people to your website that's good brand or good traffic from a certain website. So some are just delivering traffic, some are delivering authority. And I mean, that's its own conversation right there, going through and talking about the difference. But we can see the different types of links that you have. Now, once again, this is a big tool that you can go over. Big red flag, this toxic pages. If you see this type of stuff pop up, you want to investigate a little bit deeper. Toxic pages are supposed to be pages that could hurt you. Could be a competitor, which one of our friends who I think we've had a podcast with, Kevin McManus, got set up. Somebody like duplicated his site, sent a bunch of links to his website and crushed it. That's what this is designed to do, to be able to track and recognize if somebody is sending bad backlinks to you. If you see this, let us know. There's something called a disavow file. Don't do it yourself. We've seen people completely erase themselves off the internet doing it. Yeah, if you see toxic pages,
if you're a client of ours, we can help you. If you
can do it.
Well, we can help you if you become a client of ours.
Yeah, if you become a client. But the best thing, the one that people love, is this backlink spy tool that basically you can put in your competitors, and it'll go through and it'll check and see if you have the links, do your other competitors have it? So we can see here, both of them have this particular backlink, and you can say, is it worthwhile to get? Does it have a good trust flow? Does one person have it? Do two people? So if you find a backlink that two of your competitors, and remember, it's your digital competitors. It is not the competitors in your mind. We're talking about SEO and authority. So you want to find the ones that have the most SEO, the most authority. And if you see two people who are higher authority than you have the same link and it is of a good trust flow, well, then your job is to go to that page. You can simply click right here, go to the page, and figure out, how do I get this backlink? Do I have to write an article? Is this something I sponsored? I mean, you really have to think about it. And for all you SEO people or the people in the office responsible for the digital marketing, this takes time. You have to explain this for you attorneys out there. just because someone spent 4 hours researching does not mean they're not working. I mean, this good backlink work takes time. So you either have to schedule it out for yourself, give the person in your office time to do it, and understand that it is a tedious job, or, you could hire us for it, but it is not easy. It takes time. There's a reason Google puts so much weight on trust and authority, because they understand backlinks don't just fall out of the sky like they used to back when we first started. I mean, we set up microsites and create backlinks. Now, I mean, they've got a lot of people with PhDs who think about ways to stop you from tricking them. So more good quality backlinks, swipe and deploy from your competitors is another great way to do it. And so that's really the meat and potatoes of the tool, is keyword research, tracking it, the site health, both on-page SEO and technical SEO, and then backlinks, and looking at your backlinks, competitors. You can pull in some other, like we pull in Google Analytics information and Google My Business page. So there's other information in other places that you can pull in to this tool that is helpful in one spot. But that stuff is much more focused on the high level, like analytics. I mean, that's a 4-hour podcast.
Well, plus, yeah. And the other cool thing too is that you can give reports. So you can give reports to your boss. So if, you can show, like, if you are doing the SEO for your firm, you can give them a report.
You can mark down all the things that you're doing for SEO.
Yeah. All right, man. Good job, dude. Thanks, Matt. I hope that everyone got something from this. This tool is for you. If you have a DSS license, you likely have this tool. If you're not actively using it, you should be. If you didn't know you had it, then let's get you trained up and get you a username and password and get you using it, because it will immediately start benefiting you as it has many others. Okay, Matthew, thank you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, everybody, it's been Tom and Matt on the World of Marketing. We will see you soon.